Mexico City, Mexico. A news helicopter circles the scene of a railroad crossing accident. The driver of a natural gas truck tried to outrun a train, but didn't make it. The pilot maneuvers his chopper to get a closer look. Then, suddenly, an explosion blows 8,000 gallons of gas sky high. Fortunately, the pilot is able to steer his way clear of the blast.
2, 1, 0. We have ignition and liftoff from Cape Canaveral Air Station of the Air Force Delta II launch vehicle carrying the new GPS-2R satellite.
Then, just seconds into the mission, an explosion rocks the Cape.
We just had an anomaly of the Delta II launch vehicle from Cape Canaveral Air Station. We need to secure the area.
More than 250 tons of flaming debris and rocket fuel rain down from the sky. The explosion occurs so close to the ground that the area around the launch pad looks like a war zone. An oil tank has burst into flames and volunteer firefighters have raced to the scene. But suddenly, the boiling fuel explodes through the top of the tank. The oil erupts into a massive column of fire, forcing everyone to run for their lives. Murdoch, Illinois. A train pulling tanker cars full of chemicals has derailed and burst into flames. Firefighters keep their distance because no one knows exactly what type of hazardous materials are on board.
So it started this big roar of flames.
Reporter Ramey Becker broadcasts live, dangerously close to the blaze.
The fire is making a sound like a jet liner taking off.
What Ramey doesn't know is that the high-pitched noise indicates that pressure is building inside the tanks, just as the blaring sound reaches its loudest. A tanker full of propane gas explodes in a colossal fireball. Let's watch again. The 6-ton railroad car rockets into the air like a missile. The tanker crashes to the ground nearly a mile away.
We need to go, Andy. Let's get in the car and go.
The giant mushroom cloud shoots thousands of feet into the air, filling the sky with fire. The uncontrollable flames rage on into the night. And when the inferno engulfs another tanker, 50,000 gallons of high-octane fuel erupt into a blinding firestorm. Finally, 72 hours later, firefighters manage to bring the flames under control.
Behind that wooden door, a man is holding his wife captive and threatening to kill her. Police know they have little time. Something makes them run for cover. The hiss of gas from an open propane tank. The homicidal husband has turned his apartment into a bomb. When the sound subsides, the cops assume the coast is clear. The fiery blast hurls the officers through the air onto the ground, a floor below. They drag the deranged husband from the rubble. His wife is clearly in shock, but alive. Fort Worth, Texas. A 5-alarm fire ravages a chemical plant. The tanks are filled with 4,000 gallons of toxic chemicals. Flames build, and suddenly, one tank blows. The first explosion blows out a wall. Workers rush to evacuate. Then, an even larger blast. The entire plant is consumed by a massive fireball. Even with the incredible devastation, only 4 people are hurt.
Busan, South Korea. A gas leak at a propane storage facility has erupted into a raging inferno. Firefighters scramble to contain the blaze before it spreads to these gas trucks. But the flames are too intense, and the gas in this tank truck is simply too hot. Then, disaster strikes. The tanker explodes, setting off a fiery chain reaction that consumes an entire city block. The blast has ripped an enormous hole in the pavement, exposing huge underground storage tanks of liquid propane. Suddenly, the flames reach the underground tanks. Another devastating explosion rocks the city, sending a gigantic fireball into the sky.
Emergency, we need the fire department, all you can get here immediately.
What's the problem?
We just had a big explosion and everything's on fire.
Henderson, Nevada. An earth-shattering explosion in a rocket fuel factory rocks this small desert town.
This explosion is huge. It's scary. It looks like a mini atomic bomb actually when it goes off.
I remember a man running down the road, run. The place is going to be blown off the earth. And I went, what? And he said, the place is going to be blown off the earth.
The sound was instantaneous. It was just huge. And then you could see the shock wave rolling across the ground at you.
Seconds later, another blast.
Wow! It's an inferno!
With a force equal to a 3.5 magnitude earthquake, it's the biggest explosion yet.
Did you let heat?
You can't tell me people got out of that.
Oh, no.
Now the town looks like a war zone.